Hello and welcome to DC Figures and Collectibles. I am Tyler G of Batman Figs on Instagram, as well as Batman TAS Figs on the YouTube. And I'm joined, as always, by my co-host all the way from Stoke-on-Trent, England, Scott. Scott, how you doing?
Hello, Tyler. I'm doing good.
You
thanks.
can find
him.
I'm doing okay. We got to do some ad reads, but then I'll be very good. But if you are not following Scott, you can find him at the.batfan on Instagram. And our ad reads, we got to talk about Skillshare. Go check out Skillshare on my Instagram if you haven't. Zavi's got a lot going on. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, we have an audio version of our show, which is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and all that. And if you're listening on that, we have a YouTube version. So I'm doing well, Scott. I'm doing very well. A lot of new figures, a lot of new stuff I've been searching for. I still haven't got, but I see other people finding, so that's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. And jumping straight onto that, I wanted to talk about this figure because do you know what? Every time I see more pictures of this figure, especially from yourself, there's another account, Ahsoka as well. Every time I see people take pictures of this figure, I love seeing it. I think it just looks so cool, and
I think that you could do a lot of good stuff if you had it.
Yeah, and at the minute we were talking about this just before we went on air, but I'm too lazy to be bothered to go out and look for it. But it looks brilliant, it really does, and yeah, enjoying the pictures. It's really nice.
I really hope you do get it because at first I hated how low that ab crunch thing is, but I do think with a experienced toy photographer as yourself, it'd be easy to hide it. And also, it does get good articulation. And you have you have a few DC essentials, so it would fit perfectly with them.
Yeah, I did notice. Again, with Ahsoka, he did a picture of like the sort of team up of Batman, Nightwing, Red Hood, and they were like the essentials. It looked perfect because Batman's just slightly taller than Nightwing and Red Hood, which is perfect scale wise. And
maybe DC Collectibles did know what they were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they did after all, and even like the Red Robin Mattel fits in nicely with it because I never got why that figure was so tall because Tim Drake's a short guy. He's not tall.
Yeah.
So but I really do like this, and I love the scale of it. I feel like when companies go for a slightly bigger scale, especially with the Arkham line. The Arkham line is my favorite toy line. I would probably say generally, it's Edge's the animated line, but I think the Arkham line was so good because a little bit taller, more detail can you get packed into the figures, and it just looks really cool. So
I have to agree with you so far.
Enjoying that. I did the Harley as well. Harley looks really cool. Where was that picture that you did? This one, really enjoyed that one.
Yes, and that was after we talked about how good of a picture that Lee posted, and I felt inspiration to do that, and it's also because the new Harley Quinn show dropped today, and I was actually looking forward to it. And so I had to do that and also give him a shout out because I feel like he needs to have way more followers than he does. Because the stuff he does with 12-inch figures is crazy, which I want to talk to you about.
Yeah,
but first,
for sure.
Let's show this. Now, this is a continuation of where we left off last week because we recorded during the weekend. And this is what you posted shortly after our podcast went live. And I absolutely love this. And we talked a lot about on that show about blending and the source light, where it's coming from. And I think everything here is beautiful. I love this thing. It evokes the show so perfectly. And you know exactly what episode without even reading or looking at anything.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really kind. That screenshot, obviously, from the episode.
The sword.
Yeah, absolutely. It's from the episode Day of the Samurai, not Night of the Ninja, like I cocked up on the last episode. But
I would do the same thing, though. No worries.
It's just a few accessories, a few old Playmobil accessories. I used some Lego Dr. Octopus claws to hold the sword in place.
What? I never would have thought.
A little clock that got off eBay, some papers and stuff like that, and then the Playmobil torch Batman's holding. But yeah, I just tried to keep it a little bit simple and make it like a detective pose, detective setup.
And this is what you ended with. Very strong ending.
Thank you. Yeah, this one was a massive challenge to do. It probably doesn't look like it is, but the depth on it was ridiculous because obviously I shoot in front of a digital background, which was made by Simon of at Batman the Animated Fan. A fantastic background. He's given me a few different ones actually, which is super kind of him. So I'm going to do some more pictures with his artwork.
You could definitely tell with this ensemble pick that just with how far back you can tell Harvey is, for anyone that has the figure and knows how big he is. And then you got the whole background. Then you had to have put the bat signal up on something to lift it up, right?
I did, yeah, I did. I put it on a couple of DVDs, I think, just to prop it up a little bit. Just to prop it up a bit. I had to prop Gordon, Montoya, and Harvey a tiny bit. Probably like one DVD underneath them, just so that they got a bit more.
See, coverage. I look at this kind of photo, and I think this would take longer than most other ones that people think would take a longer time.
Yeah, the last picture you just looked at took half as long, really, because it was just put a table down, a few accessories on it, Batman standing there with the torch. It's not too complicated, but
the lighting would probably take the longest on that, right?
Yeah, lighting was a little bit tricky with that one, and this one was more sort of set up and how to frame it, because I did originally take an angle where it was a little bit higher up, but because of the black clouds in the background, Robin's head and Batman's head sort of blended with it a little bit. So I purposely lowered the angle just to make them stand out a little bit more, just to get the best out of that red backdrop.
I love hearing that sort of stuff because it happens all the time where you get a figure set up perfect, and then you go to find that angle, and you're like, "Crap, his ears are hiding; they're blending in." So, every photographer goes through that.
I always like putting Batman's ears and the backdrop to the moon as well. It always reminds me of the '89 Batwing scene.
Oh yeah, you got to. It evokes that every time. I feel I should have got over like 2,000 just because I love everything about this photo. I love the poster, the cup, the quote, the episode from the actual show. It's a figure that is pricey to get on the open market, and you are the only one I know that does anything this cool. So thank you, first of all, and then walk us through this.
That's kind, yeah. So
this is the best part. I just love this.
The computer and the clock and that. Yeah, I wanted it because to be a little bit like the Cadmus scenes in JLU, because every time you look at questions, whether it's his apartment or his dormitory in the Watchtower, he's always got papers everywhere, posters all over the wall, and books everywhere. He's always investigating something or finding some sort of theory. So that's just what I wanted to do with this one, just throw loads of papers everywhere. And the poster in the background I got from the Diamond Selects FBI X-Files figures.
Nice.
I think it came with Mulder. So I just put that in the background.
Well, it's perfect for like that time era of the show too. That's like when X-Files was big. So yeah, it's all appropriate. Yeah.
It's kind of things that Question have been looking into as well. So
you probably love that show.
Yeah.
Now, this is always good, and this is incredible.
This was a blast going out and actually doing some figure photography. It's been a while because of the weather, because the weather's horrendous lately.
Absolutely.
Over here, but loads of people were saying, "Oh, don't you feel nervous putting them on the edges there?" I was like, "No, Aquaman doesn't move, so if you just pose him in that position, you can't move anyway. He's a statue." But yeah, that was it was tricky to get him to stand up at first, but it managed to get there in the end. Anyone who has that figure will know why, because of the ankles. But yeah, he was standing on the edge of the waterfall. It's all real. That is nothing is edited or anything like that. It's just all what was there is what you see.
Now I love this perspective because that's just a beautiful shot. However, I love these colors.
Very inspired by Zack Snyder. You know, he does these sort of amazing visual scenes, like you get it with the Nightmare. You get a couple of Aquaman. The one specifically, I remember when he saves that guy from the boat, saves the guy from the parademon, and you see him looking down with all the water coming everywhere. That's brilliant. But yeah, Zack Snyder kind of inspired those shots by the way that he just captures an image and a setting so well.
That's beautiful right there. And also evokes the imagery of the movie and he pops out with the full comic suit. So this
Yeah,
is,
well,
this is
that's something.
plus you just don't see
definitely wanna do.
Aquaman shot much.
Yeah, I need to get that Mayfex one, or I've got an idea for a little bit of a custom that I'm going to try and do and go back and actually be a little bit more prepared this time. It's the first time I've gone out with the new camera, so yeah, it was a good shot. In fact, actually, a second time because you just reminded me of this picture. That was the first time I went out.
This is not only spectacular because it's a cool concept idea by you and the way you put it together, and the castle though is just so money.
Yeah, the castle's amazing. It's Malcott Castle again. I've been there a few times, done some nightmare pictures, and this is that location again. It's a beautiful place. It really is fantastic. It's got so many different angles for you to take pictures at. You can take close ones like this, or ones where it's significantly further away, and just gives like a whole new sort of perspective on it. And you can see all the beautiful castle ruins on there. It really is a beautiful place. I mean, this is what I'm talking about in terms of that castle.
Oh,
it's fantastic.
That's one of the best photos of that figure ever. I say easily.
Thank you. That's kind. I mean, if we're looking at this picture, it's sort of around that area there. Where we're looking at where I took the picture of the Batman, the one that you've got on screen. It's sort of around there.
I absolutely. Yeah. Now, how long have you had this idea of this figure and this concept in your brain? And when you get an idea like this, do you get worried that someone else will come up with it, or are you pretty like, okay, I got time to like this?
Sometimes I do, but I'm one of these people where I'll take a picture and I'll hold the picture for ages, and then sort of like, I mean, I took that picture that you're looking at there like 3 months ago. Sorry,
yeah, remember you told me something about it.
Yeah, I'd had that one. I'd had that one for a long time and just not uploaded it. But yeah, this was the first time I went there. It was in August last year. I did do another picture of that Batman somewhere. I can't find it now. It's completely disappeared on the feed somewhere. But
it's like eye candy right now. Just scrolling through your page.
I did do another. Oh, there it is. There. That was the first time I did the sort of kit bash custom idea in August last year. Just use the Batman Begins harness. Use the collapsed disruptor gun on the belt, and then the grapple attaches on the belt as well.
Is that a different head sculpt?
It's the same head sculpt as the one we've got. You've got
still the eyeless one.
Yeah. Oh, this one here. The one that, even though it is actually the eyeless one that's on there, is actually the proper eyes that are on it. It's just that bright, the sun that day. Hard to believe, I know, in Britain, but yeah, it actually was quite sunny that day for some reason. It was cold,
another big transition. I don't want to just go over this because this is beautifully shot, and the colors and everything are perfect for the movie, and just the purple sky. Absolutely love this. Spot on. Now tell us about this. What was this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, this was ridiculous. Yeah. So
we're talking about Scott's first hot toy that arrived.
I'd had some money that I'd purposely saved to one side for a little while to get this figure. I was just waiting for the right opportunity, and then it came up, and I just grabbed it, and really, really excited to take pictures of him. So I got up at like 6 a.m. on Wednesday and went out to a car park that's near me. Where I work, and just went out there and took some pictures of Batman. I got a couple more different ones to upload as well, and yeah, it was really good fun, and it's just such an incredible figure. And the challenge of doing 1/6 scale is massive. To be fair,
it's real.
Here it is. I mean, it's an incredible figure. Goodness. It really is.
It does look incredible.
The details absolutely ridiculous, but I mean, the cape's fantastic as well. I love the cape on him. But yeah,
are you hooked?
He's brilliant, and although right now I'm not looking to buy any more, I can safely say he probably will not be the only 1/6 scale I get. If I'm going to get anyone next, it'll be Deathstroke. But yeah, he's fantastic, and just it's difficult with the lighting though, because obviously it's a shiny suit, so you can't absolutely embed it with light. Just a little subtle light on him, just to get it to shine a little bit from an angle. But the other two pictures I took of him are slightly better than that, I think. I think we'll see.
Oh, I really like this because anyone could just plop a Batman toy out, but you the way you framed it with the line work, I really enjoy just everything about it. You could tell the fog in the background.
Nice one, yeah. Cheers.
Plus, the glow on it gives me a nice scarecrow-like fear toxin effect.
Cheers, man. I appreciate that. And the location of the car park kind of reminds me of like the shipping yard, the Falcone shipping yard from the games. So.
Continuing on the new things you thought you'd never see on Scott's page, we have the Infinity Gauntlet from Marvel. Yes. That one, yes, it's incredible.
I promised I'd have a dig at them in the last episode, so I had to deliver on that promise, and hopefully I did. But yeah, it's good fun doing this one. So the only way I could figure out to get a crossover character was to just do the Justice Lord Batman, so I threw him in there. Put Flash and Supergirl in there, the two classic Crisis characters, and Monitor fits in really nice with the DCAU figures. He does look quite good with them. So, my
favorite part is this is just so in his personality. He'd be smiling.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. Does he? Wally West, he's just happy-go-lucky. He ain't bothered.
I never want to discredit or pass over how beautiful this figure is, because still no one's got a figure like this at this scale. I think
he's a nice figure, and head sculpts by Action Figure Customs, painted by at Vin Faith Customs, and then the suit was from GP Slot. Fantastic, all three of those people, very talented.
And here we have the first picture of this weekend's theme.
Our new theme with At the Bat Collector Lewis, who was a super cool guy from England, and we are doing a GCPD weekend, and we both started off with some GCPD Commissioner Gordon action, which is good fun.
Now, you talked about doing a bunch of different print screens and backgrounds. I really love this one, the way it adds a whole another level of depth to the scene. Is this a brand new one?
Cheers, yeah. It's not new, but it's just one I haven't used yet. So there's a scene in... Oh, what is it now? It's the episode where Catwoman and Nightwing. It's the episode.
You scratch my back.
That's the one. That is the one. You scratch my back. Yeah, it's the episode where they team up together, and that's basically Nightwing's hideout.
Nice.
So he goes underground and comes out of the sewers, and then you can't see behind the background of that, but like behind the rooftop is the bottom of the sewers where Nightwing comes out in the cycles. That's the way the print screen.
I'll never watch the scene the same way. I was thinking of this shot.
It'd look alright for a GCP. You know, it's weird sometimes when you rewatch the show and I see backgrounds that I've used and just like, well, it's weird.
But yeah, that's gonna be permanently in my brain every time I watch it.
Yeah, it is kind of strange sometimes seeing backdrops from the show that. When you're rewatching it back, it's pretty strange.
You got a pretty fair amount of comments too on the Infinity Gauntlet shot.
yeah, a lot of. I bet some people were quite annoyed by that, but I don't care. Iron Man's feeble, so
that's the fun of it.
Yeah, Iron Man's pathetic, and also I'd seen a lot of this. Marvel just move on from Iron Man. I've seen Tony Stark's going to appear as a cameo in this and that, just to connect the universe. Appearances and cameos don't connect universes. Good stories do. Anyway,
where were these fans when Doolittle came out? Where were these fans when they needed them?
Yeah,
Doolittle was a bomb.
It's actually ridiculous. And you were joining in on GCPD weekend as well.
Ah, yes, not subconsciously. That one I just thought would be. I thought it would be funny to poke fun at their size, but also show off how cool they look.
I think that's actually quite a good size comparison picture, almost by accident, really.
Yeah, making fun of I was gonna say what are you guys getting on the Watchtower or something like that, but I made it more towards steroids.
Yeah, it's like Batbane or something.
Batbane.
But I love that Green Lantern. He's so damn good.
I was thinking yesterday, what did they do different? Why does the Batman face look so generic or plain, but that Green Lantern one looks like it's a Mezco head sculpt almost.
Yeah, it is quite strange, isn't it? And the only thing that really disappoints me with that Batman is the eyes are grey, not white, or at least if they're white, you can't see him very much. But
You don't have him yet, right?
no.
When you do, you're gonna find it is hard to like this guy's eyes.
Yeah.
It's hard to like those eyes. But that's part of the challenge.
That's kind of a shame, but I really like the grapple gun he's got on there, and the legs look a lot better than the DC collectible ones, just because of like the shape of them looks a lot better.
It gives them the look of muscle instead of spaghetti.
Yeah, it just looks like they look a lot more sturdy as well, to be honest. But I really do love that Green Lantern. He's so cool.
Yeah, you might be seeing him again later.
He looks fantastic. I really enjoyed that one. When we talk about Justice League as well, I really enjoyed this picture.
Yes, and our guest called me out because he knew the background I used was from the Infinity on Crisis, the Crisis on Infinite Earth comic cover.
Oh, it looks fantastic though. Really, really like that one.
Yes, and it's when my Batman's leg still worked before it broke. I had to re-up on him. Time to bring him back to life.
What inspired the quote on that one? Because the quote was "I'm done." What inspired?
I just felt like that's something very. After setting it up, I just felt like that'd be something something Batman says. He does something long and drawn out, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Just walk away.
Yeah. No,
I just felt like
Batman.
that's very into Batman's mood.
I love Batman in this series. It's just amazing because, like, growing up, you've seen Batman as this like lone ranger and fighting, and then Robin sometimes comes in the series, and then just seeing him with other superheroes, it was just so inspiring to watch on TV. And absolutely love that picture. I always love the Justice League picture. Anyone does, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and also I feel like it's something Batman do because maybe it's a moment where they want to do something, take their time, and he wants to act now and. Because he's like what you mentioned, he always sometimes worked with Robin. In a lot of the episodes, he's just telling Robin to stay back because his personality is that of one where he just wants to do everything himself.
Yeah. So, he's constantly pushing help away from others, and then in this series, we get to see him working in teams with other people, which is just brilliant. I absolutely love Justice League.
One of my favorite scenes ever is when he's getting like his butt whooped, but he's still helping Flash disarm bombs.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was Wildcard. Yeah, fantastic. That was.
Oh yeah, Joker's in that one.
Yeah, so good, so good. Yeah, fantastic episode. The only thing I didn't like about Wildcards was that Mark Hamill sounded ill in that one. I don't know. Was recording.
Even the Joker gets sick.
Because one thing I noticed, he doesn't do the traditional like burst out of laughter in that episode either, which was a shame. But other than that, it was a great episode. It's a shame that
I'm gonna have to watch it back.
Absolutely gutted that they had the bat embargo going into jail. Such a shame because a Scarecrow was going to be in it. I think they were going to have a Poison Ivy episode in there as well. It's such a shame.
That would be cool to see Ivy.
Yeah, I think that would have been fantastic. But it's a big shame. But let's have a look at what else you've been up to this week. This one, I really like that one. Just for the sharpness of it. I mean, we were talking on the last episode with our guest. And we're just talking about cameras, and obviously, like you've using the phone camera, and it looks fantastic on there. The sharpness of it looks brilliant.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I had to learn a lot is the different, just with the layers and how to light it, and what it's going to look like when you transfer it, and the size and quality of the picture. So I had to learn all that stuff with all that different editing.
Yeah,
I learned a lot about storage.
Do you use any lenses on that, or is that just pure with the phone camera?
That's pure in phone camera. So all I have is a Pixel 4. That's my most up to date phone.
It's fantastic.
I highly recommend it for photography.
Looks brilliant. So I've been taking pictures of Q, and you've been taking pictures of his other half, Huntress.
Yes.
Which is a nice little parallel we've achieved.
The whole reason I did this is because something you told me. You told me that there was a leaked picture of the new Huntress with her mask, and I found it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I gotta do it." And I even made sure I had a above light that was pink and purple, so you could see it kind of kissing the rooftop with the purple undertones.
Yes, yeah.
So it was a lot of fun doing that. Plus, I've looked up, and that's the best Huntress figure I can find. There's another one that looks similar, but the head sculpt looks off. Hopefully, we can get a new one.
Is that the Universe Classics one that you've got there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, Universe Classics that is prime Mattel. Like that is Mattel doing what they do best.
Yes.
It really is. I mean, Mattel do some fantastic stuff when they put their minds to it, and the Universe Classics wave specifically, I think, is just absolutely outstanding.
And the fact they made a character like Huntress.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But it is a mashup of different characters and different lines. So we've got
it's a toy orgy
here as well. Got Icons, Essentials, Diamond Select, loads of different lines here. Soap Studio.
Yes. Mattel.
Yeah, Mattel, absolutely.
This is one of, I think, DC Signature or DC Classic Manta, I believe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a cool figure.
He's a perfect classic comic version. And I think the DC Multiverse, or maybe the Mafex one, I don't know. I don't have it. Is a perfect movie.
Yeah, the Mafex one looks great. It really does.
And a lot of people kept asking me where that Clayface is from or if I painted it. I was like, no, that's the Collective Connect.
Yeah, I
probably answered where's that lect from like 12 times.
The first comment is where do you get that reverse flash? Where do you get the Luthor? Where do you get the Clayface and Luthor? Where's the Lex from? Where's the Lex from? Where's the Lex from? Cool Luthor. Yeah, there's a lot of comments there talking about Lex and Clayface, like you say. But who's your favourite figure out of all those?
I would. Ooh, dang, that's a hard question. I was first gonna say that's my perfect or favorite version of Harley for a comic version. Give it Alex Ross look, but I really like the Cheetah, and I really like the Reverse Flash. So I would say those are my top three.
Yeah.
I put.
Everybody always says that Harley's like their favorite. That's the favorite Harley, the Icons one. It's brilliant, isn't it?
It really is. And also, I was inspired by that. Like again, if you haven't watched it, the Harley Quinn series is enjoyable, and you see every one of these characters on it, and they're pretty funny.
Yeah, I really did enjoy that one. Fantastic picture. And we're talking about the picture I did for the episode. This was one that you did. Now, anyone who's watched the episode will instantly know where that's from. I think that's a brilliant idea. Yes, and this is the one that kind of reignited my level of excitement for when I get back to doing the Batman animated series shots, because with all the new accessories I've gotten as of late, and especially watching them back when we do these reviews, I'm noticing a lot of things I could do, especially for the one we saw today. I could see a few things I could do with these accessories. Yeah, no, definitely. So we've seen you doing a lot of t-shirt promotions this week, but when are we going to see the return of the BTAS? Because I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to see you get back to these BTAS pictures. I'm really excited. You know what? I'm just going to surprise people. I'm not even going to give a date. Because I think it's near. I know that because I've been reinvigorated, I feel like, which I really enjoy. And I've got a few really good ideas, especially related to the episode we talked about that we're going to be covering today. But before we get into that, you haven't watched Titans yet? But unfortunately not, no. In terms of DC media, there's a rumor that JJ Abrams may be doing a Justice League Dark. Did you hear that? Yeah. What are your thoughts? Getting a Marvel or Disney man to do a dark DC movie. And the guy that destroyed this franchise. He destroyed Star Trek. It's never going to end well, is it? He destroys everything he goes to. He destroyed Star Wars. Yeah, it's pretty boring. If anybody right now should get that gig, I would probably say nobody, because we don't need it. Yeah, I don't. It's not necessary, and I feel like it's him going to try to be cool and make a wannabe Joker movie. Yeah, it's like, come on, Jay. That's all he does ever is tries to copy this whole directing style. He tries to copy Steven Spielberg, so he's a hack. This is a bit of a rant, but I'm just fed up of crossovers now. Fed up of them. They're boring. They're seriously getting boring. Crisis was great. brilliant, but I don't like this Marvel Infinity War and all that stuff.
Well, because we did it, Marvel's gonna up it by $1 trillion.
Like all the everything nowadays is going to be a connected universe. Everyone's obsessed with it. It's boring now. Like, just move on from it. Do something different. Like they're just going. Like start rebuilding a universe again and focus on some solo stuff. That's what I'm really looking forward to seeing from DC. Also, we've got Wonder Woman and Batman as well coming up, which looks quite good, by the way. And then Birds
of Prey right around the corner.
Fed up of crossovers, like sick to death of them now.
I'm gonna do a huge Marvel DC crossover pick just for you.
No, it's everything I see. Like there's gonna be a cameo here from someone to connect the universe, or this is rumored to be in the works, or there's going to be a spin-off of Brandon Routh's Superman because he did so well. No, piss off with the crossovers. It's boring.
Okay, what I think is DC did something right, and Marvel's going to try to up and do all these rumors and stuff. And then, of course, I think DC is like a little kid with like a whole plate of cookies. They're just wetting themselves, and they're just okay. Now we're going to do a Superman one. Keep clicking us and liking us.
It's like when DC did the Aquaman movie, their first financially successful movie in a while, by the way. And then they all of a sudden decided we're going to do a trench movie based on it. Like, no, are you insane?
Based on one cool scene from the movie. It's, we got to build a whole world.
These days, and DC are particularly guilty of this. They take something that's half decent and then just absolutely smash the thing to death, and they're like, we have to use this, we need to use this, we're going to do that. No,
Harley
just
Quinn.
leave it and let it be. Harley Quinn, and just leave it be, let people enjoy it, and then go and create another legacy with something else. Like, just go and do it again. It's like us would take one picture that people enjoy, so that's brilliant, we're going to do it again, that'll be my next picture, I'll make a spin-off from it. No, go and do something different. Challenge
like those
again.
Basketball photos. One person did a good basketball photo, and then there's like the whole cult of followers that just do the same pictures over and over. Same picture, different figures every time.
Really don't want to see Buzz Lightyear and Superman taking each other on in basketball. I don't.
What about curling? What about it? Something. Why does it always have to be basketball?
Yeah,
because they're pandering. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of spin-offs, I already saw that for the Birds of Prey. Maybe that's just around the corner. They're already, without any barometer of success or any barometer of knowing what kind of success the movie's going to have, they're already thinking of doing a Black Canary spin-off. Did you hear this? Speaking of spin-offs.
I think they should be a little bit careful and just see how the movie goes at first. This is the problem with DC, isn't it? And they dive into these things so soon. It's like with Batman v Superman, they'd already started developing the Justice League movie and stuff like that. It's just like, take it a little bit slowly and build it a little bit more and develop it a little bit more. Just quit the crossovers, get rid of them. It's doing my head in. Boring.
Last DC media part, because there hasn't been any new Batman spoilers or rumors. Not spoilers, but scene photos, set photos. The one person I've seen that has been talked about might be possible or rumored for the role of Batgirl. She wants to possibly direct and write herself, is Karen Gillan. Do you know?
Yeah. I do. Yeah, she's in some Marvel movies, isn't she? I can't really say I've seen.
Plays the bald-headed blue lady.
Is she any good, or?
I don't know, because it's a Marvel movie, so it's hard to know if she got any creative license to do anything by herself, or if she had to do exactly what they were told. She was decent in Jumanji, the first one. Didn't watch the second one.
Oh, of course, yeah. I recognize that now. Yeah, I mean, she looks the part, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I do know that she did a subtle thing. If you watch her Instagram, there's a video where she does a Joker dance before going out to promote a movie. And I think it's funny that a Marvel girl is doing a Joker dance before going out to a talk.
Yeah, that is funny.
So she might be just a big DC secret fan.
Yeah, who knows? It always worries me when you see actors cross over from one franchise to another within the same sort of like comic book universe and that. It's always a little bit strange. I've seen them rumors that Christian Bale might be going into the new Thor movie, which is a shame.
A part of me died when I read that.
I don't feel like any of us DC fans have a right to be disappointed, but I'll still be very disappointed.
I know. It's like the guy just wants to get work. He wants to get paid. It's his job, but it's still like it's rough to see.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've got massive respect for Christian Bale because he wasn't really a Batman fan, was he, when he came into the...
no, but he did a lot of research.
Came into it, but he nailed the research and smashed out the comic books. And then by the end of it, he was devastated to lose the role. Well, not lose the role, but to pass on the role because he said, didn't he, like he sat in a room quite famously for like half an hour and didn't say a word.
Staring at a wall.
Well, when Ben was cast as Batman, which, you know, I have massive respect for that. I think that's... I do have massive respect for that, but I'll still be disappointed if he goes into a Marvel movie.
He even, while on tour to promote the film, spoke in an English accent because he didn't want to freak people out.
That's fantastic.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
In terms of plastic, getting back to plastic before we go into our BTAS review, any new gets or anything on the way?
Not really. No, just been the only thing other than the Hot Toys Batman, which we're taking pictures of. I won this.
That's definitely new.
won this Wonder Woman on eBay for it's only £10. It's a beautiful figure.
Oh yeah,
couldn't believe I actually got it for that. But it's quite infamous now with the trailer. Really excited.
When are you going to show that thing off?
Not a clue. Hopefully, it's going to take some pictures of it tomorrow. All being well, I forget the time.
Especially with hype coming up for that movie.
Yeah,
that's a
really
beautiful figure.
It is an amazing figure. I mean, it's got virtually no articulation on it, but I'm not bothered for something like that. But
for $10,
yeah, really can't go wrong for something like that. It's fantastic. No, not really anything new other than
that's new stuff. You got a baller hot toy, and you got the sick Wonder Woman from Kingdom Come.
Yeah, that Wonder Woman's beautiful, but
so not going out to hunt.
Pictures. Been enjoying taking pictures of this guy as well. The 89 Batman.
Scott, I have to say that might be better than the Mezco Batman 89 figure. That thing looks sick.
I love the head on this. This was done by
it's perfect.
Customs again, painted by Vin Faith. Fantastic.
All the proportions look perfect.
And this cape just looks brilliant on it.
I think that might be my favorite figure you own.
Thank you. I'd probably say it's close between that and the JL Batman, but I think the JL Batman for now stays in front. I think when that Mezco gets here, that'll be the best, I think. But yeah,
I hope Mezco does
love that.
A Batman Returns.
Just love everything about Batman Returns in '89. Like, love listening to all the music from that movie. Love rewatching the movie. Love all the figures and custom stuff from it. So, I mean, like when I'm taking figure pictures, I know Kingdom Morris that we had on before. He said he like when he takes figure pictures, he sits and listens to some of the music from the movies. I'm the exact same. I actually got a DC playlist. It's like an hour and a half long with just loads of music from the different films. I just sit and listen to that while I'm doing pictures and stuff. So
that's pretty cool. I like hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just enjoy listening to it from all sorts. Well, like got Arkham Knight music, got Batman v Superman '89, all the different kinds of stuff.
So you just have been in heaven then, having this week off.
Just mix everything up. But yeah, I just spent all done this week is just take pictures and play Arkham Knight. So it's been a successful week.
Heck yeah. And the fact that you didn't have to go out and hunt, I mean, that's not a big deal. You don't have to waste petrol, and you don't have to spend money on figs if you find them. Plus, you already pre-ordered them. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, pretty much pre-ordered everything that I definitely know I would like to get, but yeah, everything else. I just really couldn't be bothered to go out and do shopping. I hate shopping. Just a stereotypical man. Just can't stand going shopping. It drives me nuts. So yeah, not really done much this week other than take pictures. Obviously been out and taken some pictures, but that's about it. It's just been nice to do nothing for a change.
I wish I could I wish I could have another week of that. For you, because I think that we're getting some cool shots of it.
Cheers, man. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, it's been good fun.
I can't wait to see what's cooking in Scott's lab once it's posted. Scott's back.
Yeah, but actually, speaking of it, this is a little bit random, but was watching someone on YouTube play through the Batman Vengeance game. I can remember playing it as a kid. It came out in like 2001. That was really good fun watching that back. I mean, you can really see in that game where the Arkham games got inspiration from, with how they tell a story and sort of knit everything together, like how the Batman Vengeance game played out. It's such a fantastic story. It's just great watching all the cutscenes back as well and enjoying that. Yeah,
is that really, the animated one?
Yeah, it's the New Adventures animated one. I might watch the Tinsui one. I've never played that as a kid, and I've heard it's bad, but so I might rewatch that. But I can remember playing Batman Vengeance as a kid and loved it. Brilliant. It brought back so many memories of playing it.
See, I missed out on that one.
Yeah. Oh, it's bloody brilliant, man. Like, just the story's great as well. It really is, and that's what
I watched the video.
Yeah. I think that's what's so poignant with these Batman games. They always tell a brilliant story, and
it's a must.
Not only do they have great gameplay, great visuals, great characters, and great cast as well. By the way, with Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill sort of heading the franchise, if want a better word. And yeah, I think they did a terrific job with those Arkham games to tell a story. And been playing Night this week as well, as I've mentioned, and that Ace Chemical scene, it's weird. Like, it's almost like I don't want to play it because I know it's over. It's weird.
I understand that.
Amazing. But yeah.
Now, talking about Batman Returns and Batman '89 reminded me of how awesome the architecture is, and then hearing that reminded me of finding out a lot of the filming locations I actually did hear about where they're filming, and that's in Glasgow.
Yes.
So that'll be cool.
I like that, and then just a look at the buildings. It looks really 90s, basically. Yeah. It just looks really 90s, and that's brilliant. I
Gothic.
think it's gonna be pretty cool to see what they do with that. And a few alien pictures looks quite good. So
you're talking about good stories and Batman and the video games, and and even though you initially don't think, like, going back and what was that one? It was like Shinsu's Revenge or something like that. Was one of them? It was like a Jim Lee story.
Tinsui or something like that. Yeah.
And even though that's not like a one that's well known, if you went back and looked at it, it's actually a good story. And initially, I was kind of like that today, and watching our episode they were covering today, and that's Terror in the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And after watching it, the only thing I feel now is like even more pumped to do Batman animated series shots, because it was an enjoyable episode to watch. What do you think about when you think Terror in the Sky?
Yeah, Terror in the Sky is very similar to On Level Wings, not just because of the villain. I know a lot of people are going to say, obviously, because it's the villain's Man-Bat in it. But I think in most of the visuals, so you get that sort of high up looking down at the Man-Bat flying across the buildings. I mean, even the start of the episode is very similar to On Level Wings, where it goes through the buildings, the screen. It's very sort of similarly set out that way. And you also see Batman very compassionate in this episode as well.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, he's very sort of understanding, I think, for most part of it, and he has to investigate and uses Alfred to help him investigate with things. So I think that's quite a cool episode, and it's just very similar to On Level Wings. And
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah. What did you think rewatching it?
Oh man, for like what you said, the opening scene, and we hear that familiar musical theme from the very first On Leather Wings, which that gives me all sorts of the nostalgic, warm feels. So I was into like perked up and like, ooh. And so I mean, let's get into this. Let's start talking about it.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
The opening scene, like what Scott said, we start seeing, like, we're taken in through aerial views and through buildings. And we see the Man-Bat is back. I mean, before we see the Man-Bat, we see its vision, which it's sonar vision, which if you look at Scott's story, he has in his story, and how it locates people. And we see that it goes in and starts stealing from people that are loading what looks like groceries, and it's a bin of fruit, and starts eating the fruit, and the people are freaked out, and they just leave, because why would you care about fruit when there's a 6-foot bat monster there? And they decide just to run, and there's reports that the Man-Bat is seen again. So of course that perks Batman's interest.
Yeah.
And well, from there we see the Man-Bat gets flies all the way back to the Langstrom's residence into a window. And all of a sudden, Kirk wakes up, and the wife is like, "Oh, are you all right? You're still having those nightmares?" And he's like, "Yes." And he's panicked, and you could tell that it's not like he is purposely trying to be the Man-Bat to go wreak havoc. It's like, so you know that it's something he's not purposely trying to do. It's just something that's happened. So, what say you?
I quite like the opening scene. Yeah, I think the scene when Man-Bat's eating the fruit's actually quite funny. I don't know why. I think it's quite funny.
It is funny.
I can imagine it be terrifying for the people in the docks that get caught up in it, but I find it funny because how he just turns around and looks at them and just carries on chomping on those massive fruits, which is funny. But yeah, it's a pretty decent opening act. I like how you get the Bat animated visual at the actual Man-Bat, what he's seen with the yellow vision and the red sort of things. It gives you an idea of what Bat can see in real life. But as you say, he goes back to the apartment and Kirk finds the carpet all chewed up and covered in fruit, so he bins that and hides it. And then as the cops are interviewing the two people at the docks about what happened, Batman's ears dropping on the conversation and listens to them talking about a great big Man-Bat creature. So Batman instantly heads over to Langstrom because he suspects that he's taking the formula again. And then Francine finds the carpet that's been sort of hid and is all chewed up and ruined, and confronts Kirk about it, saying about him taking the mutagen. And he's like, "No, I haven't been taking it, or at least knowingly, unless he's changing without him realizing." And Francine confronts her dad about the mutagen. He doesn't seem to know what's really going on either. He plays stupid to it.
I love the dad character.
Yeah. I swear the character, it's Dr. March, isn't it, his name? I swear that Scarecrow does his voice. He sounds so similar to the Scarecrow.
I need to listen back then. I need to listen to that. That would be cool.
Pretty sure the Scarecrow does his voice, obviously in a different sort of accent. It's a bit sort of calm.
I know whoever it was very dramatic in their reading. It was hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, very intense character to say the least.
And I also like what you do when Francine is like, when she confronts him, and Kurt looks like he's drugged out or strung out. Like he's got stubble and his hair's a mess.
Yeah.
So cool to see that he's panicked and worried as well. Especially when you find out what happens later, it's just the amount of stress must be doing it to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you don't really know what's going on yourself, and he doesn't have a clue. And
so you said Batman heads over to Kurt, and he goes "You must have some kind of death wish." He doesn't even ask him "Are you doing it?" He just automatically assumes it's him and says, "You must have some kind of death wish to take that stuff." He's like, "What are you doing to yourself? I've given you chances. I didn't take you into prison. I easily could have, but instead I cured you, gave you a cure, and allowed you to go about your practice without ruining your reputation." So Batman's pissed. Kirk's trying to plead to him that he's not doing it. It's not deliberate. And he is pissed at Batman. He's like, "Well, whatever you gave me obviously didn't work. So it's not my fault. I'm trying to clean up what you did. And I'm not trying to do this purposely." Because he's basically saying he has no recollection of the events. He just wakes up and he just sees the mess that's that's come about. So Francine, she still hears all this, and she just thinks he's a liar. And I mean, she has a point at this juncture. But Batman, being the detective he is, and being logical, and being about being fair, he said, "You know what? Let me take a DNA sample. I'm not gonna take you to prison right away. I'm gonna at least let you do your work, try to figure something out. I'm gonna take the sample, see if it's someone else, see if he's telling the truth." And then immediately after he goes outside, he gets attacked by a Man-Bat. He goes through his bat cycle.
Well, that's what's good, isn't it? Because in that scene, you don't realize it at the time, but Francine leaves, and then you see Francine's dad, Dr. March, listening into the conversation. They both leave, and then the Man-Bat appears after he's spoken to Langstrom, which is quite interesting how they do that. But if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you'll know straight away who the Man-Bat is, just from the clothing that the Man-Bat's wearing.
Spoilers.
But It is Splitters, but yeah, go back and check it out, and you'll know what we're talking about.
Well, the fight scene is a lot of non-dialogue stuff. It's a lot of cool visuals and a lot of.
I swear
cool...
it goes on for like 5 minutes. This fight.
It goes on a while.
It goes on for ages. Yeah.
I was thinking in my head, shoot, man, they must have just pad the time. Like, we don't have as much story. Just keep drawing.
Probably, yeah. They genuinely probably did. Yeah.
I have another thing to talk about. What my theory about this episode and after the end of this, but yeah, I mean, they have a fight and a struggle, and through that, Batman's able to get a hair sample of this Man-Bat. So he has 2 samples that he's able to take from and test the DNA against.
Yeah, and his Bat cycle gets absolutely trashed by a train as well, fighting the Man-Bat. But
he's got to go to his mechanic.
He finds the hair in the costume, and he says to Alfred, we've got all of him that we need, and he checks out and analyzes it in the Batcave, heads straight away back to Kirk Langstrom after he's tested it, and he said that 100% can confirm that you are not the Man-Bat. It isn't you. We got a new Man-Bat because he's tested the DNA and the antidote worked, and then he explains that, well, and then, we need to go and explain it to Francine because she's left for good. Like, she's gone to get on a flight, and he's like, I need to go and catch up to her now. And Batman's like, yeah, okay, you sound like you got bigger problems. You go and deal with that then.
My favorite thing about this part is I love that Kirk is just like, he doesn't really care who the Man-Bat is. He cares less. He's just like, so I'm free to go. Like, I'm off the hook. Like, I'm cool. Yeah. Like, okay, let me get out. He cares less about who's actually the Man-Bat.
Yeah,
I love that.
Definitely.
So where do we go from there?
Yeah, I mean, if you were in that situation, you'd be like, okay, that's brilliant, but who the hell is then? And he's just like, no, I don't care, I'm going to get Francine back. But
especially since he's the guy that made the formula. You'd be like, who the heck got it?
I guess you got to admire that. He really must care for her. So he has to go and find her and just, apologise. And, well, not apologise, really. Just say, look at this. Here's the results. But so after Kirk goes to find Francine, Batman has a look through the files, goes to check out some of the Man-Bats breakdown of the formulas and all that kind of stuff. And as he's doing it, Dr. March appears and tells him to leave it there, and he's got enough tranquilizer to put him out for a month in a gun. And Dr. March, as he was continuing the research, he believes that only Man-Bats can survive the next cataclysm. Yes. So he's carrying on the research, and Batman's just like, it's got to end. This is insane.
It really is insane.
Yeah, I think Batman initially thinks it was Dr. March who was transforming, but Dr. March is like, no, I've not been taking this stuff. Although the other day he sort of recalls being startled by Francine, drops the serum. Francine,
this is my favorite part of his reading.
Yeah, as he's reading it, he's like, "Oh my god!" It's like, shit,
the glass
actually happened. Yeah. The glass smashes all over the floor. She goes to pick it up, cuts herself, and then the serum enters her bloodstream, and then that's it from there. And then only the tiniest amount is enough to infects the person that's getting into their blood.
Yes, and they also made a point to mention that they're trying to make it an improved formula, I think, to make it seem like this was even a stronger Man-Bat that would give Batman even more of a challenge.
Yeah,
as well. So I think so far we have got over 2 red herrings for this trick or at least the mystery of who's the Man-Bat. The first being that the name of the episode, or the name of the character in general, is called Man-Bat, and they could call it Man-Bat. So you're thinking it should be
She-Bat or something.
Yeah, and then of course the herring of Dr. March. So then when you finally find out, unless you're an eagle-eyed viewer, like Scott said, when you finally find out on the airplane with Dr. Kirk as well, it's a crazy transformation scene. Like, the animation is really cool, but she seems like she's sick on the airplane. She goes to the airplane or the lavatory, and she turns into the Man-Bat or whatever. And then bursts to a plane. People are almost like going to fly out of the plane. And Batman uses his second vehicle of this episode, which is pretty cool. We get to see the Batwing. And from there, we get an aerial spectacle where you could tell they didn't want to do a lot more writing and just draw a lot of action.
True. That's true.
And then you could finish the end for us. Because I really do like the end.
Yeah, so the Man-Bat transforms while they're on the plane. I always found it a little bit weird. Why wouldn't Kirk just tell Francine before they got on the flight, rather than getting on the flight, sitting behind her, and then walking up to her? I think it was a little bit convenient for the story. But,
they had no money.
Yeah, it seemed a little strange. But so the Man-Bat transforms. Everyone terrified and running away. Kirk's trying to get to her and sort of calm her down, I guess, and try and help in any way he could. Not that he could. Yes. It makes no difference when you transform. You're no longer the same person that you were, as we found out on Leather Wings.
Yes.
And the cabin door bursts open. Man-Bat flies out, and Kirk Langstrom coincidentally is the one that falls out of the door. And the Man-Bat saves Kirk as he's falling out, which it's quite important for the ending of the episode. And all the passengers are getting sucked towards this door, and then Batman comes past and extends the hook out the front of the Batwing, which you can actually get on the DC Collectibles Batwing as well. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I'd love to be able to recreate that with the pictures, but unfortunately I'm not quite skilled enough to do that, or anywhere near skilled enough. So huge. Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? And we'll talk about, actually, after we've done this, talk about a picture you did of that this week. But the Batwing comes along, closes the door, and then heads off after the Man-Bat and Kurt Langstrom. Because at this point, Batman's thinking, it's out of control. It's going to, could potentially kill Kirk. But there is sort of a subconscious inside the Man-Bat that knows it wants to protect Kirk. Obviously, with it being Francine, it wants to protect Dr. Langstrom, and it eventually ends up in a rooftop fight near a bridge
in the snow,
which is a really cool visual.
Yes.
It looks really, really nice. The artwork in this episode was pretty stunning, to be honest, with the streets and the Batcycle fight earlier. And then it really is a beautiful episode for some of the Bruce Timm artwork. I mean, they had enough time to show it off. Let's face it, there isn't much story behind this. But yeah, Batman tries tries to use the antidote that he worked up
with the gun from the expression pack.
Indeed, yeah, absolutely. He fires that at the Man-Bat. The Man-Bat just plucks it out and flicks it away and carries on trying to fight Batman. Batman tries again and it doesn't work, but then eventually we find out that it does actually work, because the Man-Bat slowly transforms back into Francine. Yeah. Just the smallest doses manages to work out for him, and she slowly turns back into herself again, and she suffers a bout of dizziness, which is understandable. Transforming from a massive Man-Bat, you would be a little bit dizzy, and she goes to fall off the side of the bridge, and Kirk is the one that grabs her.
Yes.
Batman helps her up, and then Batman just kind of leads them to it. And the end of the episode, very similar to On Leather Wings, the ending as well, I noticed.
Yes.
Yeah, Batman doesn't say a lot, he just sort of goes away.
I like that you talked about how it comes back to set up where she catches him and then at the end he catches her. That's a parallel I didn't pick up on. But there are a few that I did pick up on. So now, what do you rate this episode overall?
I go for a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
A lot of filler in this episode, but it's
that's a good point. It's a good point.
But it's pretty decent. Yeah, it's a nice little follow up and a bit of a tribute to itself, really. On Leather Wings. But what do you rate it?
Okay, it's interesting that you said that, a little tribute, because I would say this is I would say 7 out of 10, and I only give it I would agree with you normally with a 6 out of 10 because there's so much filler. The only reason I'm giving it one more is because if you look at the episodes leading up to this one, they've been rough. They've been rough to get through.
They've not been great, have they?
They've been. You can tell that they were going through a rough patch. I feel like this was an episode that must have reinvigorated them. Let's go back to where we started, on Leather Wings, and then from there they kick it into gear with the next few ones. Like the next ones almost got them.
Yeah, they had a little bit of second season syndrome going towards
And I can
the end of
believe
this,
that.
and then they sort of finished very strong as we're looking at some of the episodes we got coming up. Some really, really strong ones.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could, and I could both like feel like even doing pictures, there's times where you feel less creative than normal, and there's times you get like a huge upswing, where you're at right now, just absolutely killing every picture. So then after that connection, I was watching. I also liked. I have to say, I really enjoyed the sound effects of the Man Bat. I think that really adds a lot.
They're great, aren't they?
It adds a lot to how cool that character is.
Yeah, they are fantastic. The sound effects are.
I like that.
They didn't change it either.
Yes, I don't know how they do it, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
I do like that. It shows Batman is about fair and being, just. He's not, because he can't prove Kirk did it. He knows that it's just assumed. He could easily throw him in the jail and be a dick and be like, "Oh, we know you're Man Bat." But he's like, "No, I'll take my time." And he shows again doing detective stuff. And it's rare Batman does anything detective. Every time you usually just want to see people action, Batmobile punching. So it's nice seeing detective work. Dr. March's dramatic voice was hilarious. I enjoyed that hammy. That was hammy. But I also like right when Batman finds out that it is Francine, there's a line that Kirk first says menacingly and on the other wings where it's like, "It's in me, Batman." And he turns into it and he says, "It's in her now." And so I like that little line because that reminded me.
True.
So I would give it a 7 out of 10.
That is a really good point, actually.
So that's the one I know. And then you showed me another point with the one I never knew. I didn't know that.
It's good. It's a really good point.
But let's see, even on this episode, I feel like there's a lot of things they went back to basics and really like, okay, let's get back to turning out some creative, good stuff that Batman should be about, not fighting werewolves.
If you look at like the last sort of 3, like Tiger, I actually don't mind that episode at all.
That's a good one.
Moon of the Wolf's not great. Day of the Samurai is not great. And then Terror in the Sky is okay. And then next episode we're doing is probably one of their best. It's many people's favorite, which is Almost Gotten.
Yes.
So everyone knows and loves that episode. And
I did not turn it off when it came on. Right after this one.
I mean, even the next 3 after that, or you could argue the next 5 after that, actually are flawless episodes.
One of your favorites.
Virtually. Yeah.
Virtually. Perfect word.
Yeah.
Virtual.
In a couple episodes' time, What is Reality? And that is my second favorite ever episode of BTAS. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be a good one. So we got a lot of cool ones coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost Gotten will be next, written by the incredible Paul Dini, and it shows.
I hear he's a good writer.
He's not bad. Yeah.
Now, speaking of not bad, what has been your figure of the week this week, Sir Scott?
I was very tempted to put this guy in again. He's brilliant. I haven't taken a picture of the Wonder Woman yet, so that would be unfair to put her in. So I'm going to go for the Arkham Knight.
Yes.
Batman. How could I not? I mean, it's just amazing. Always said if I was going to buy a hot toy, it would always be this one first. I stuck by my word.
Ferrari. Looks like a Ferrari.
He's incredible, man. The amount of accessories he comes with. I'm not going to bother showing him on the camera if everyone's seen what he comes with, but he's fantastic. Amazing figure, and it just captures the lightness of the show as the game. So well. It just looks unbelievable. It's fantastic, but it's a lot more challenging. I have a lot of respect for 1/6 scale photographers. I know we had 1/6 shooter on.
Toys of Arkham.
Toys of Arkham, yeah, absolutely.
I have a Watu. Massive Beak.
Absolutely unbelievable photography, and King Namorus as well. He's one of my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of my favorite 1/6 scale photographers. Absolutely fantastic.
Okay, so I want to do an honorable mention.
Awesome.
For the episode.
Yes.
Because he is a brilliant figure, and it's rare that anyone makes a Man Bat figure.
It is a brilliant figure, isn't it? That it really is.
And I already mentioned him. This is the official figure of the week.
Nice.
Mr. John Stewart.
Amazing figure.
The face sculpt alone, I think it's up there with the best of them. They really took the time on.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we don't know who our guest is yet at this point, so we don't have anything else to tell you.
Yeah, that's pretty much that is pretty much it for us.
That's the crack.
It is, yeah. I promised I'd show a picture of that Batwing shot that Tyler did as well, and here it is. There's the Batwing picture.
That's over the canyons of my old school too.
It reminds me of sort of the episode with Boss Biggis in right at the start. Where, yeah, it's a fantastic episode, that one. And
I'm blanking on it.
Yeah, reminds me of that one, The Forgotten.
There it is.
The irony of that.
We've had a few ironic things. See, that's good timing. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. This was a lot of fun. This is always an enjoyable thing for me, especially going through the episodes, thinking they might suck, but ended up being, okay, these guys know what they're doing. So any last words, Scott? Yeah,
well, thanks to everyone for listening. And also tomorrow, if you listen to this virtually now, tomorrow, the 25th, Saturday at 9 p.m. UK. I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but I'm sure you'll be working out. I'm going to do a live stream, so come and hang out with us. Come have a chat. Have some people coming in. I'll just be on my own, see what's going on.
Oh, nice. Yeah, okay, I might pop in then.
Yeah, people can jump in and have a chat with us, or just leave comments, whatever you want to do. Come and have a chat. Should be good fun. Just want to do something different.
Nice. Okay, cool. I might have to pop in.
Awesome.
I know you did it previous with Hands Across the Water.
Yeah, Hands Across the Water. Yeah, for a great cause to help out Papa Scotty on Instagram. So go and check that out. Yeah, it was good. It was good fun, that was. So it's
you might have to have him on, because I feel like he's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is a funny guy. Yeah, Michael's a great guy. He's a good laugh, and
he'd be an enjoyable guest.
Yeah, he loves the DC Essentials as well, so that'll make for a nice conflict.
That'll be fun. Yeah. Okay, well, we hope you guys enjoyed it, and full episode will be up shortly. Thank you.